Cigar smoke hangs thick inside Madison Square Garden. You can taste it, feel it coating your throat, your lungs, making everything hazy and slightly unreal. But this is real. This is March 1973. This is boxing, New York boxing, the kind where blood matters, where pain matters, where men test themselves in ways that cannot be faked, cannot be choreographed, cannot be anything except genuine. That is what the crowd came for. That is what they are getting. That is what makes this place feel sacred, makes it matter, makes it the center of the fighting world. Bruce sits in the front row, ringside seat, the best seat, the closest to the action, close enough to hear punches land, to hear the breathing, to hear the pain. He did not buy this ticket. He did not ask for this seat. Muhammad Ali gave it to him. Come see real fighting, Ali had said over the phone the week before, laughing, teasing in the way he always teased. Come see what happens when cameras aren't rolling, when choreography doesn't save you, when you actually get hit. Come learn something, movie star. Bruce came because Ali asked, because Ali is a friend, because Ali understands something most people do not, understands that different fighting styles carry value, carry legitimacy, carry purpose. Boxing has purpose. Kung Fu has purpose. Both are real. Both have been tested. Both are worthy. Ali grasps that, respects that, celebrates that. That is why they are friends, why they train together sometimes, why they share ideas, share techniques, share an understanding that fighting is universal, is human, is something that transcends style, transcends origin. Chi transcends everything except the act of testing yourself, proving yourself, understanding yourself through combat, through honest combat, through combat that reveals truth, about skill, about courage, about who you really are when everything is on the line, when pain is real, when consequences matter, when losing means something, means everything. The arena holds 15,000 people, all of them screaming, all of them invested, all of them watching Joe Frazier close out his fight. Smokin' Joe, the champion, the destroyer, the man who beat Ali, who proved himself, who earned every ounce of respect through blood, through pain, through being undeniable. Joe is in the ring right now, dismantling a contender. Some hopeful, some man who believed he had a chance, believed he could compete, believed he belonged in the ring with Joe Frazier. But he was wrong. Joe is establishing that, punch by punch, round by round, moment by moment. The contender is tough, is game, is trying. But trying is not enough against Joe. Not against a champion, not against someone who has dedicated his entire life to being the best, to being unbeatable, to being Joe Frazier. Bruce watches carefully, studying, learning, observing how Joe moves, how Joe creates angles, how Joe generates power, how Joe closes distance, how Joe overwhelms. This is mastery. Different mastery than Kung Fu, different techniques, different philosophy, different everything, but mastery nonetheless. Undeniable mastery, proven mastery, effective mastery. Bruce respects that, genuinely respects it, understands that boxing is real, is tested, is legitimate, is everything boxers claim it to be. Joe Frazier is the proof. Living proof, moving proof, devastating proof. Each punch demonstrating, each combination proving, each moment making clear that boxing works, really works, against real opposition, against real resistance, against everything real. The fight ends, the inevitable ending. The referee stops it in the 8th round. The contender cannot continue. Too hurt, too damaged, too beaten. Joe wins, raises his arms, celebrates, soaks in the applause, soaks in the validation, soaks in everything that comes with being champion, with being the best, with being Joe Frazier. The crowd loves it, loves him, loves watching dominance, watching excellence, watching someone so thoroughly good at something that it begins to look easy, begins to look simple, begins to look like art. That is what Joe just did. That is what everyone witnessed. That is what made this worth the ticket price, worth the travel, worth everything. Joe takes the microphone, a victory speech, a champion's speech, the expected speech, thanking everyone, thanking his trainers, thanking his fans, thanking God. Standard words, professional words, what champions say, what is expected, what maintains the image, maintains the reputation, maintains everything. Joe does it, says the words, plays the role. Then something changes. Joe's eyes move across the crowd, looking, searching, finding, landing on Bruce, on the front row, on the movie star sitting ringside, on the Kung Fu man watching boxing, on the person who, in that moment, represents everything Joe resents, everything Joe dismisses, everything Joe believes is fake, is fraud, is Hollywood nonsense given the illusion of substance. Joe's face changes. The smile becomes a smirk. The professional becomes personal. The expected becomes something else entirely, something unplanned, something pointed. "Hold on," Joe says into the microphone, his voice carrying through the arena, through the speakers, through 15,000 people. "I see someone in the audience, someone special, someone famous, Bruce Lee, the movie star, the Kung Fu guy, the legend." The sarcasm is deliberate, the mockery unmistakable, the disrespect entirely intentional. Stand up, Bruce. Let these people see you. Let them see the great Bruce Lee, the man who fights on camera, who does choreographed moves, who makes movies about fighting without ever actually fighting. Stand up, take a bow. Show everyone you're here. Show everyone you're watching real fighting, real combat, real men proving themselves, not movie magic. Not camera tricks, not Hollywood nonsense, real fighting, like what you just saw, like what I just did. That's real. You understand real, Bruce? You understand what happens when fighting isn't choreographed, when the opponent doesn't cooperate, when punches actually land? You understand any of that? Or is it all movie magic, all performance, all fake? The arena goes quiet, an uncomfortable quiet. Everyone heard it. Everyone understood what just happened. Joe Frazier called out Bruce Lee, publicly, directly, without any ambiguity. This is not banter. This is not playful. This is not friendly. This is an attack. A real attack, a public attack, designed to humiliate, designed to diminish, designed to make Bruce look small, look fake, look like everything Joe claims, everything Joe believes, everything Joe wants to prove. Met in front of 15,000 people, in front of the boxing world, in front of everyone who matters. Joe is making a statement, issuing a challenge, making clear that he believes Bruce Lee is a fraud, a fake, a movie star playing tough, not a real fighter, not a real martial artist, not anything except an actor and a pretender. Bruce does not move, does not stand, does not acknowledge any of it. He sits there, face neutral, body still, not giving Joe anything, not giving the crowd anything, not giving anyone anything except silence. Dignified silence. Controlled silence, refusing to engage, refusing to play the game being constructed around him, refusing to become entertainment, refusing to validate the attack, refusing everything except maintaining composure, maintaining dignity, maintaining himself. That is harder than it looks. Really hard. Incredibly hard. Being attacked publicly, being mocked publicly, being dismissed publicly, in front of thousands, in front of the world, in front of everyone, and choosing silence, choosing dignity. Choosing not to react. That is control. Real control. A level of control that takes years to develop, years to perfect, years to maintain, even when provoked, even when attacked, even when everything inside demands a response, demands a defense, demands making Joe understand what he has just miscalculated, all of it controlled, all of it restrained, all of it refused. Because Bruce is wiser than this moment, more disciplined than this provocation. That is exactly what Joe resents. Exactly what Joe cannot accept. Exactly why Joe needs Bruce to respond, needs Bruce to engage, needs Bruce to validate this confrontation. To make it real. To make it something other than Joe Frazier publicly attacking someone who will not fight back. But Joe does not stop. Cannot stop. Will not stop. What's wrong, Bruce? Cat got your tongue, or are you scared? Scared of real fighting? Scared of a real opponent? Scared of finding out that Kung Fu doesn't hold up? That the movies are lies? That Bruce Lee cannot actually fight? Is that it? Are you scared? Because you should be. You should be terrified, because I am a real fighter, a real champion, a real man who proves himself, not in movies, in the ring, against real opposition, against real danger, against everything you avoid, everything you hide from, everything you pretend does not exist. Real fighting, real pain, real consequences. That is what I do, what I live, what I have proven hundreds of times. Thousands of rounds, millions of punches, all of it real, all of it tested, all of it proven. What have you proven, Bruce? What have you tested? What have you done except make movies, perform choreography, pretend to be dangerous while real fighters do the actual work? You are fake, Bruce. Admit it. Stand up and admit it. Tell these people you are fake. Tell them Kung Fu is a performance. Tell them the movies are lies. Tell them Bruce Lee is a fraud. Do it. Have the courage to be honest, to be real, to be anything except a pretender, a charlatan, everything I know you are, everything everyone knows you are, deep down, underneath the image, underneath the legend, underneath everything. You are fake, and I am going to prove it, right here, right now, if you have courage, if you have honor. If you have anything except movies and choreography and Hollywood, come into this ring. Face me. Prove yourself. Prove Kung Fu is real. Prove Bruce Lee can actually fight. Prove anything except what I already know, what everyone already knows, that you are a movie star playing tough, nothing more, nothing less, nothing except fake. The crowd reacts. A mixed reaction, some cheering, some booing, some uncomfortable, some entertained, some horrified, all of them watching, all of them engaged, all of them wondering what happens next. What Bruce does, what Bruce says, whether Bruce accepts, whether Bruce fights, whether Bruce proves something, anything, everything. or whether Bruce walks away, refuses, maintains his dignity, maintains his wisdom, maintains everything except giving Joe what Joe wants, what Joe needs, what Joe is demanding. Validation, engagement, a fight, a real fight. Bruce versus Joe. Kung Fu versus boxing, movie star versus champion, two different worlds colliding, two different philosophies being tested. That is what Joe wants. That is what the crowd wants. That is what everyone wants, except perhaps Bruce. Bruce, who did not come here for this, who did not want this, who does not need this, who does not benefit from this, who came only to watch fights, support Ali, learn something, and go home. To be left alone. Not to be challenged, not to be attacked, not to be made into a spectacle, into entertainment, into anything except a person. A regular person watching fights, living his life, existing in peace. That is all Bruce wants. That is what Joe is taking from him, with ego, with the need to prove, to dominate, to make Bruce small, publicly. Just completely, irreversibly. Bruce stands, finally stands, slowly stands. Everyone watches, everyone waits, everyone wonders. He looks at Joe, across the distance, across the ring, across everything separating them, looks at him with eyes that have seen things, understood things, known things Joe has not, cannot. Bruce's face is calm, completely calm, not passive calm, a different kind of calm, the kind that comes from certainty. Joe, Bruce says, not shouting, not using a microphone, just speaking. And somehow the voice carries, through the arena, through the crowd, through everything, clear, precise, controlled. I came here to watch fights. To support a friend, to learn from boxers, to respect what you do, what you have achieved, what you represent. I did not come to fight, did not come to prove anything. Did not come for this, for confrontation, for challenge, for anything except watching and learning and respecting. That is all I wanted. That is all I came for. You have made that impossible. You have attacked me, challenged me, demanded I prove myself, demanded I validate your beliefs, demanded I engage your ego, your insecurity, your need to prove that boxing is superior, that I am inferior, that Kung Fu is fraudulent. I do not want to do this, do not want to fight you, do not want to prove anything, do not want anything except to be left alone, to go home, to live in peace. But you will not allow that, will not accept that, will not give me that option. You have made this public, made this a confrontation, made this unavoidable. You have left me no path except through. So fine, I will give you what you want, what you demand, what you need. I will step into that ring. I will face you. I will demonstrate, not because I want to, but because you have made it necessary, because you will not accept anything else, because you have forced this against my wishes, against my better judgment, against everything I believe about avoiding unnecessary conflict and unnecessary proving. But you have made this necessary. You have made this unavoidable. You have made this something that is now happening. So let it happen. Let me in that ring. Let me show you something. Let me teach you something. Let me demonstrate something about Kung Fu, about Bruce Lee, about what happens when you underestimate and assume incorrectly. 7 seconds. Let me in. The crowd erupts. This is happening. Really happening. Bruce Lee versus Joe Frazier. Kung Fu versus boxing. Movie star versus champion. Legend versus legend. Different worlds, different styles, different everything. All of it colliding, all of it being tested, all of it about to be proven, in a ring, in front of everyone. This is history, real history, unexpected history, unplanned history, history being made because Joe Frazier could not control his ego, could not leave a man in peace watching a fight, had to challenge, had to attack, had to set this in motion, and now it is in motion, now it is real. Now it is unavoidable. 15,000 people watching. More watching on television, millions eventually knowing about this moment, this confrontation, this test. Bruce Lee versus Joe Frazier. About to happen, about to prove something, about to demonstrate something, about to mean something. Security opens the ropes. Bruce climbs through. He steps onto the canvas, enters the ring. Joe is grinning, confident, certain this ends one way. Certain Bruce is about to be exposed, about to be beaten, about to be proven to be exactly what Joe claimed. Joe is a boxer, a champion boxer, an undefeated boxer, a proven boxer. Bruce is a movie star, a choreography expert, a performance artist. In Joe's estimation, not a real fighter, not a real threat, not anything except someone who is about to be embarrassed, about to be hurt, about to receive a lesson in real fighting, real boxing, real everything Joe represents. Joe believes this, completely believes this, is certain of this, and is about to discover that assumptions, even firmly held ones, carry a cost. Is about to understand that underestimating is costly, is about to learn that Bruce Lee is real, really real, dangerously real, but provably real. They face each other at the center of the ring. Bruce is in street clothes, no gloves, no protection, no anything except himself. Joe is in full boxing gear, gloves on, protection in place, everything proper, everything regulation, everything boxing. This is not an equal setup. Joe has every structural advantage, every physical protection, everything stacked in his favor. And it will not matter. 7 seconds, Bruce says quietly. Only Joe hears it. Only Joe processes it. Only Joe understands what Bruce is saying. Give me 7 seconds. Then you decide if Kung Fu is fake, if I am fake, if the movies are lies. 7 seconds to demonstrate, to prove, to teach. Then it is over. Then you know. Then everyone knows. 7 seconds. Can you give me that? Can you last through that? Can you survive that? Joe laughs. She a mocking laugh. 7 seconds? You think you can do something in 7 seconds? Against me? Against Joe Frazier? Against a champion? You are delusional. You are about to get hurt, badly hurt, seriously hurt. I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to expose you. I'm going to prove everything I said in less than 7 seconds. In the first real punch you have ever faced, in the first moment of actual fighting, you are finished. Get ready to learn that movies and reality are different, that choreography and combat are different, that Bruce Lee and Joe Frazier are very different. Get ready, movie star. Get ready for what real fighting feels like. There is no referee. This is not a sanctioned contest. No rules, no rounds, no formal structure. Just Bruce and Joe in the ring, in front of everyone, testing what needs to be tested. Joe raises his gloves, the professional stance, the champion stance, the stance that has won hundreds of fights, destroyed hundreds of opponents, proven itself across thousands of rounds. Joe is ready, confident, certain, about to attack, about to prove, about to win. Bruce does not settle into a recognizable stance. He stands naturally, centered, relaxed, not Wing Chun, not karate, not any identifiable system. Just present, just still. Reading Joe, watching Joe's weight distribution, watching Joe's intention, reading the signals that precede movement, seeing everything before it happens, before Joe knows it is happening, before Joe executes. Bruce sees, Bruce knows, Bruce is ready. Joe throws a punch, a big right hand, a power punch, a knockout punch, the punch that has ended fights and ended careers. Is coming at Bruce fast, champion fast, proven fast, fast enough to have beaten everyone who ever stood across from Joe Frazier, everyone except Bruce. Bruce's head is not there, moved, minimal movement, just enough. The punch passes through air, connects with nothing. Joe registers surprise, visible surprise, the surprise of a man not accustomed to missing, not expecting this level of evasion, not expecting Bruce to be fast enough, skilled enough, real enough. The assumption begins to fracture. Bruce's hand extends, not a punch, a strike. An open hand strike between the gloves, between the protection, finding the gap, finding the opening, finding the vulnerability at Joe's ribs, striking precisely, perfectly, controlled power, measured force, enough to impact, not enough to seriously injure, because this is a demonstration, not a destruction. Joe's eyes widen. He felt it, really felt it. The power, the precision, the speed. All of it real, all of it unexpected, all of it proving something significant, proving that Bruce Lee is real, proving that Kung Fu works, proving that the movies were not exaggerations of what Bruce can do. The movies were a restraint of it, a fraction of it, a deliberate holding back of what he actually is. 3 seconds have passed. Joe tries again. A combination, jab, cross, hook. The professional combination, the proven combination. The one that has worked across thousands of rounds against every kind of opponent. Multiple punches, multiple angles, a sequence designed to overwhelm, designed to connect, designed to demonstrate boxing superiority. None of it lands. Bruce moves through it, slipping, shifting, flowing. Never where the punches arrive, always somewhere else, always safe, always in control. Demonstrating that Joe cannot hit him, cannot touch him, cannot do anything except miss, except tire, except begin to understand that he is not facing what he assumed he was facing. He is outpaced, outskilled, outmaneuvered by the movie star, by the Kung Fu man, by the person he dismissed, the person he mocked, the person he publicly called a fraud in front of 15,000 witnesses. That person is proving him wrong, completely wrong, undeniably wrong. 5 seconds have passed. Bruce's foot sweeps low, a clean, precise sweep at Joe's lead leg. It catches it, takes it out from underneath him. Joe's massive body stumbles, the champion off balance, the undefeated fighter off balance, the dominant force in professional boxing off balance, taken there by a technique, by a kung fu technique applied cleanly against a real boxer in a real test with real resistance. Working. Really working, against everything Joe claimed it could not work against, demonstrating exactly what it needed to demonstrate. 7 seconds. 7 seconds from the start to Joe stumbling, Joe off balance, Joe knowing, everyone knowing. that Bruce Lee is real, that Kung Fu works, that the movies were not lies, that the assumptions were wrong, that Joe Frazier was just given a lesson in front of 15,000 people, and the lesson took 7 seconds to deliver. 7 seconds that accumulated proof, built demonstration, made argument through action. 7 seconds proving that Bruce Lee is exactly what the legends claim, exactly what the films show, exactly what people believe and hoped and suspected. Real, skilled, dangerous, a master, legitimate in every sense that matters, proven in 7 seconds, against a champion, against someone who doubted every part of it, against someone who challenged every part of it, against someone who just learned every part of it, publicly, completely, permanently. Bruce steps back, does not continue, does not press the advantage, does not do anything except what he promised, demonstrate, not destroy. 7 seconds was the offer. 7 seconds was what he delivered. 7 seconds proved sufficient to teach, sufficient to demonstrate, sufficient to make clear beyond any reasonable remaining doubt that Kung Fu is real, that Bruce Lee is real, that everything Joe questioned is answered. He steps back. That is all, clean, controlled, exactly enough. Joe stands there, breathing, not from physical exertion, but from something else, from shock, from the specific weight of understanding, from knowing in a way that cannot be argued away that he was wrong. About Bruce, about Kung Fu, about the movies, about every assumption he carried into this arena and announced to 15,000 people. All of it wrong. All of it proven wrong, in 7 seconds, in front of everyone. This is a lesson. A painful lesson, a public lesson, a humbling lesson, a lesson Joe earned by issuing the challenge that made it necessary. A lesson that started with an attack, with mockery, with dismissal, and ended with understanding, with respect, with the particular clarity that only comes from genuine contact. The arena goes silent. Then it erupts. Applause, cheering, the recognition of something witnessed, something real, something that mattered. They were there. Well, they saw it. Bruce Lee versus Joe Frazier. 7 seconds. 7 seconds that proved everything, demonstrated everything, established everything, for boxing, for Kung Fu, for the broader understanding that different styles carry value and different masters deserve recognition, that assumptions are dangerous and underestimating is costly, that Bruce Lee is exactly what he has always appeared to be. A master. A real master. A proven master. In 7 seconds that no one in that arena will forget. 7 seconds that made history not through destruction, but through demonstration. 7 seconds that taught a champion and taught a crowd and taught everyone watching that 7 seconds can be sufficient. More than sufficient. Enough to change everything. Joe extends his glove. Bruce takes it. They shake. Real respect, earned respect, a mutual respect. The respect that exists between fighters, between masters, between two people who have genuinely tested each other and arrived on the other side of it with understanding that was not there before. Through honest combat, through 7 seconds, that meant everything. I was wrong, Joe says quietly. Only Bruce hears it. About everything, about you, about Kung Fu, about all of it. You are real, really real. I'm sorry for attacking you, for challenging you, for forcing this. I am sorry, and I am grateful for teaching me, for showing me, for proving that my assumptions were wrong, that different does not mean inferior, that boxing is not the only path to mastery. You are a master, a real master. I see that now. I know that now. I respect that now, completely. Thank you for teaching me in 7 seconds. 7 seconds I will never forget. 7 seconds that changed my understanding of fighting, of respect, of what I thought I knew and what I actually know now. Thank you. Bruce nods. We are good. This is past. You are a champion, a real champion, a proven champion, and I respect that completely. What happened here stays between us. Nobody else needs to carry it. Nobody else benefits from carrying it. This was a lesson. For both of us. About respect, about assumptions, about understanding that different approaches carry their own validity, their own worth, their own legitimacy. That is what matters. Not winning. Teaching, not dominating, understanding, not proving superiority, recognizing a different kind of equality, the equality of style, the equality of mastery. That is what 7 seconds proved. That is what everyone witnessed. Now that is what makes this worth remembering. Not the combat itself, but what the combat revealed. About growth, about learning, about becoming better through honest contact. You and me, Joe and Bruce, changed by this, better for this. Understanding now what we did not understand before, that respect transcends style, transcends method, transcends everything except the recognition of mastery wherever it exists, however it is expressed, whatever form it takes. That is what we built here. That is what 7 seconds created. The account spreads, immediately, completely, unstoppably. Bruce Lee was challenged in the ring by Joe Frazier. Joe called him out in front of 15,000 people. Bruce accepted, climbed through the ropes, and in 7 seconds produced a demonstration that answered every claim Joe had made. Not by destroying him, but by demonstrating, by teaching, by earning the respect of a champion who arrived at that arena certain that none was deserved. 7 seconds that proved what they proved, changed what they changed, and made history in the way that unplanned things sometimes do. Through honesty, through contact, through the undeniable weight of something real happening in front of witnesses. That is the story. That is the account. That is what happened when Bruce Lee stepped into the ring, when Joe Frazier learned what 7 seconds could contain, when an arena full of people watched a champion discover that different is not the same as lesser, that mastery does not wear a single face, and that 7 seconds, the right 7 seconds from the right person, is enough. Enough to prove, enough to teach, enough to make history that lasts.